It hits again. Kevy, he's done it one more time.
The Chaos Storm! Claire jumps in with the Grand Slam! But in a three-man moonfall, it's just lights out for Divals, just like that.
The showstopper. Look at the backline. It's getting melted.
Do something right now. Sonic Wave is there. It's getting lower and lower. Oh! They've stolen it! Mammoth have got the Baron. It's going to fall on down. It's just too much damage. Rest in peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another day of the LCO. We're into day 2 of week 6 now, and I'm damn excited because it's the last day of round 2. Of course, we've got a round 3 to get to, and we've got to see how this day plays out. Now, Rusty not going to be joining us today, so he'll hopefully be watching from the side lanes. Now, have a look back at what happened yesterday before we jump on into today's action.
And PG are topped up and healthy, except for the Jinx. Rogue jumps in. That's not where you want to be. He's dead and gone. Sapoon, can he survive? He jumps in. He's done it. He's sniped out Kratos. That's huge. He'll pay the cost. He'll trade his life with Ken now. Yui do anything in a 1v4 situation. Ken is too green impulse, try and salvage anything from A. Will this just be the very first ace of the game? And I think they're just going to get poked out here. Also, Shadow gets completely sliced up. Deja might just be dead. He's gone golden here. He's his team to back him up. Where are they? Moonlight Venture comes across. Deja surviving! He's out! He's lived! To that lane, unless he decides to focus it into mid lane where things are getting spicy. In comes the volley bear. And your stun just claims into a solid flare. And a Zenith Blade afterwards. Massive from Lionel. A double kill for that Fed Craze, which just does not miss. He's going to get that fruit. He's going to run right back into the mid lane. Focuses Kisse. Can Kisse get taken on down? Frost up against the world. He's got Kevy in his head. He's been reset. Now he's got the wild growth. And surely now, they just wipe the floor of order. They've taken down 4. I don't think they're going to find that 5th and final for the ace, but they won't mind.
A beautiful day of a couple of upsets yesterday, and look, Menulog Mealtime is here to have a quick chat as well. Now, let's bring in the casters for today. It's of course Skimmy as always, but Kitty is back again for round 3. How you feeling, Kitty?
Hello guys, welcome to day 2. I'm feeling great. I have my boba on the side. Hopefully you guys all have boba as well.
That's tea, yeah?
Yes, it's fruit tea, but I guess it's also milk tea, so...
Okay, well, I'm cultured too. Now, look, you guys in chat, of course, it's Menulog Mealtime. It's time for you guys to win a $30 voucher, so make sure you get your menu pogs down in the chat, and you can be in the running for that. And it should be drawn in, a minute or 2. So while you do that, we're going to be having a chat about what we're going to have on, Saturday night. You're getting ready to go out with your mates. Look, you got a birthday party on. You need to get something in your belly, but, not too heavy. Or, things could go south. So you don't want that to happen. We've got $30. What are we eating for dinner?
Ooh. I would have started off saying snack pack, but that's far too heavy for a night out. You just wouldn't even make it out into the cab, would you?
It's before. That's too early.
You'd be gone by that point, right?
Yeah.
30 shekels, what are we going for? Probably a shinity, mate. That's all that comes to mind right now.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah, get a shinity in there. You got some great protein to keep you pumping all night long.
What about you, Kitty? What are you ordering?
I've been liking Subway, the BMT. I think it's the Italian BMT. I feel just healthier eating a sandwich from Subway nowadays.
What's a BMT? Because I got around BLTs for a little while, a couple of years ago.
I think it's just replace the lettuce with meat. The M?
More meat.
Yes, more meat.
Tomato. Beautiful. What kind of meat? Who knows? It's mystery meat. Now, look, that's pretty good. I reckon... I want dumplings. I'm having dumplings every damn day. Pork and chive, or maybe something a little bit more fancy. But usually, you get those like 20, 15 or something for like $10 at the good places. I'm thinking Newtown. Yeah, good place. Dumpling King. Get around it. Now, hopefully they deliver on Menulog, and I'm actually just so keen for dumplings now. Unfortunately, I can't eat, but we do have to have a quick chat about the leaderboard and where the teams are currently sitting going into day 2 of week 6. So, look, hopefully we have a winner out there that won the $30 voucher. Congratulations, and, the rest of you as well. Try again next time. Same sort of thing going on here, right? Chiefs now 2 wins above Peace, so they'll have to try again next time, but Peace also have to rely on Chiefs losing to someone else here in the LCO. And the question is, who's it going to be, and is that even going to be a reality, Skim?
That's a really good question, right? Because we saw a whole host of those upsets last night. Now Chiefs starting to really create some daylight at the top of the table for themselves. Peace now with what has been 2 losses on the bounce. Really unheard of from them. No doubt Penta and Order, hot up their heels, going to be quite excited at that opportunity to try and climb on through and see what they can do. But, upsets across the board, as we mentioned. You look down towards the bottom of the table too. Direwolves picking up some wins, creating some space of their own. But Gravitas, who did get that upset over Peace in particular, right? Keeping their playoff streams alive and once again, honing us into this idea of just how close Split 1 is.
Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. And the fact that Direwolves just that 1 win away from tying it up for a 3-way tie with PGG and Order after... Look, Direwolves had a very rough start to the split, but it seems like, the bumps are starting to be there in the road for PGG and Order now. So, Kitty, anything crazy you want to talk about here?
Direwolves decided to stop limit testing and they've finally started grabbing some wins. But let's talk about how everyone in the top 6 is actually so close together, like mushed together in terms of their standing. So we actually have 2 ties going on right now. One is at the 3rd place, which is Pentanet and Order, and Mammoth and King at the bottom. But Direwolves is only 1 win away from Order and Pentanet. And if Mammoth decide to, draft better nowadays, they can actually override Direwolves as well.
Yeah, it seems, a couple of wins is still separating those teams in 6th position and that team in 5th position. But let's have a look at what we're going to be watching on the screen today for day 2 of week 6 here in LCO. So, 6 p.m, kicking off the festivities. We got Direwolves, we got Chiefs. And this could be an interesting one if Direwolves play out of their minds, but we've seen Chiefs just performing out the wazoo lately, so I guess we'll see. It is, of course, that first game of the day. Second game of the day, though, 7 p.m. Order and Mammoth looking to go toe-to-toe. Now, Order copped a L yesterday, which was definitely unexpected, and Mammoth, they've been looking relatively decent on the Rift, so maybe there's a chance of an upset there as well. 8 p.m, the same could potentially be said with Gravitas and Pentanet, because Grav came through with a big W yesterday, and if they can play out of their minds again, well, look, it's another game that could be a fascinating one for you at home to all gaze your eyes upon. But look, 9 p.m. as well, Kanga and Peace. I'm looking at that one thinking, can Peace bounce back after that L yesterday? Because they certainly did not see that one coming, Skimmy.
They certainly didn't. And, they've already dropped a game to Kanga Esports before, right? So this would be the weirdest timeline if we're seeing now, this big fight for playoffs of only 3 weeks after this one's concluded to close things out with. If you're starting to see that these upsets are happening where 2-0s are being claimed against some of these big dogs, those head-to-heads are really going to come into effect.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about, the fact that there's so many games and we're 14 deep. After today, we're 14 deep. There's only 7 remaining, and that's going to start to shift the leaderboard around even more. Look, you're seeing those teams at the bottom getting the few dubs over the big teams, and it just goes to show how strong the league is this year. Because, look, teams at the top copping those L's when, Peace were up there for so long. They were like 10-1 at one point. They were what, 11-0? Before
they were getting ahead
there?
with things, right? They were just sort of creating their own narrative, and then I don't know what it is, man. Seems to be the kryptonite is Silas.
Okay, well, it was 6-0, by the way. I got a few out of the few too many W's into that column. But look, let's talk about the round robin. So we're almost done here for the second round, and all these teams, they've played each other twice, or they will have by the end of today. So here's the head-to-head records. A lot of these teams have those 2 zeros when you're on the top of the ladder, but the main indicator here that you need to have a look at is these highlighted yellow ones, which means going into round 3, the team that wins that is going to have the head-to-head advantage when we get towards the end of the split. So, Skimmy, tell me what's interesting about this graphic here.
Yeah, the one that stands out like a sore thumb for me has to be Kanga in the middle of your screen, right? Currently set in 6th position. They've got a 1-to-1 tie with Direwolves, Gravitas, as well as Mammoth. This is their direct competition, the biggest chance for them to try and pull away from the pack and showcase that they are the team that do deserve to make it into their 5th and final spot. So I feel like their 3rd outing when that round robin begins on Wednesday is going to be the one to really keep your eyes on, right? Sort of see that level of growth that their coach, their team, the players themselves have, mentioned to us multiple times on the show. So really excited to see if they've been able to find it after, 9 weeks of play.
Now that's the question, right? And you're looking at Direwolves as well. Look, obviously they're one of the teams that have this 1-1 record with Kanga, but they've also got it with Order, and they're just one win behind. So if they can maybe catch up with an extra win on the board, there's a huge chance there. But look, there's still a couple of games to go. So Kitty, you want to talk about those 0-1s and 1-0s and what could end up happening at the end of today?
Well, I was specifically looking at Order's record in their recent games, and Order's actually currently 1-1 against PGG and Dials. But let's talk about the PGG first because they are tied for third. So you want to ideally secure the top 3 and not lose any more games coming into playoffs, because you do get that extra time to prep during the playoffs. And when they are 1-1 against the Dials, they're only Dials is only 1 win away from Order, which is, you know, all the teams are just currently so close. The standings can change dramatically.
Yeah, that's just it, right? And look, Mammoth there with Order, they're playing today. If Mammoth can get a W, then they're going to have the head-to-head over Order going into that third round, which would be insane if, you know, there is that shift in the leaderboard. But I guess we'll see once we do delve deeper into the next couple of weeks. But look, let's start to talk about stats. So, going into today, we've got a whole bunch of fascinating stats coming up on the lower third in just a moment. And also the team that is leading in all of these individual statistics. So, Skimmy, there's a lot of numbers here. Do you want to quickly go through them and tell me what they mean, what they are, and why these teams are the top in their given score thing?
Yeah. I think it's a really good indication, right? Sort of like what the team identity has formulated to become like across Split 1 so far. You look at Penston in particular, the most damage per minute, the highest percentage of first bloods, and the highest percentage of getting those first turrets as well. I think there should be no real surprises here because we have seen him play a very aggressive style of gameplay. You look at Volkan, for instance, his reintroduction into this one has been that he's got individually the highest first blood record. He contributes that then to the team as a result too, himself and Rogue. Even Yuri at times linking up phenomenally to try and get the ball rolling. Damage per minute, Yuri for a long time has been the #1 in the league as a whole, so he's just outright the go-to so far. Praetor #1 is AD carry, Volkan #1 is a jungle, so these guys are just pumping out insane amounts of damage. And I think the big thing that then translate into why they're getting the first turrets is they're actually capitalizing the fact that people don't have to respawn, right? They've got numbers advantages they can deploy into the map and they can actually get things done with that. So Pentinet's certainly showcasing why they are such an aggressive team. The only other thing that really stood out for me was the kills per game. I would have put that to Peace as the go-to right now, but
yeah.
On further inspection, it actually comes down to Peace getting a lot of kills, but they don't die nearly as much. And Chiefs are actually willing to sacrifice more members to try and get more kills. You're looking at, Raze, Tapoon, Arthur being at the forefront, top 2 in their roles. Really looking to try and get some momentum found there. So, really interesting to sort of see how these teams have found themselves so far.
All right, Kitty, talk to me. We got Order there, we've got Peace there as well in the CS per minute and the Dragons per game. So why are they up the top in these two individual stats?
So since Skimmy's already explained the PGG stuff, I'll talk about why Order is currently the highest CS per minute. I believe it's because Kevy has the playstyle of the full clearing jungle. You've seen the champions like Diana, he likes full clearing a lot. So that definitely puts them ahead in terms of the LCO average. And I believe that Peace, with the dragon icon, they do have the highest dragon, per game? Yes, per game. And it's because they do love drafting that Caitlyn Forge Heon, and that bot lead and bot prior just translate into so many dragons.
There you go. So the more you bloody know. So that is why all those teams were leading those statistical categories. And look, we can check in with that maybe in a couple more days, maybe towards the end of the next couple of weeks, just to see if that shifts or not. But look, for now, it's time to have a little bit of fun. It is time for the LCO Champion Conundrum.
Is today the day luck's with you? Is it now your life could read you? Then you must play the game, cause I have to proclaim life's a game of chance.
He's gone, he's back, he's gone again.
Rusty done dirty, not once, but bloody twice. I hate to see it. No, look, he's going to be happy he's not here, though, because, of course, we are going to be zooming in on a bunch of these champ pictures, portraits, and you guys have to guess again. So, are you ready for number bloody 1? Kitty, you were getting this on the side before, but now you're here to get it done.
She was flaming us, saying, "Oh, so easy, guys. How did you get it all wrong?" So now she's in the hot seat.
She is certainly in the hot seat. Let's see how you go. All right, let's go into champ number 1. What's this?
Poppy's hammer. That's
Is
Poppy.
this Orn?
Are you kidding? All right, well, congratulations,
Wow.
Kitty. She actually is bloody insane at this game. This segment's gonna
No
be
way.
very quick indeed. I don't know what else to say.
Well.
Wait, do
Yeah.
you guys only have one photo?
No, there's two more. There's two
Oh,
more.
She's like, this game
planned.
is too easy. Give me a challenge.
I was expecting this to go for maybe, 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes, depending on the content we could get out of it. But now we've just got Kitty going, nah, a speed run, bam, 1 second in. Oh, it's Poppy, easy. Congratulations, Kitty.
Thank you, thank
I'm
you.
going to give you 1 point. I'll give you fucking bloody 7 points for that. It was 5
Speed style,
and
yeah.
6, 7.
It's
Beautiful.
because of my glasses.
All right, number 2. Let's jump on in and see what it is, Kitty. Are you even going to need a second?
Oh, this one's kind of hard actually. Zaya?
I was gonna say Zaya because like it looks like her hair color, right?
Yeah.
Negative.
Mm,
Um,
looks like a fist on the side, maybe?
Maybe.
It's a hand?
uh,
It's Twitch's skin? It has like a bit of mushrooms. Whose hand is this?
I really have no idea.
Maybe it's even a foot.
That look like a foot to you?
Is it even...
Mushrooms?
This is a yodel,
is it
surely, right?
even a person?
It has to be like an animal or something.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
I have absolutely no idea what this is, even though I have the answer.
Lilia.
Yes.
Ah, wait. Why
Oh,
is there a
it's because
person
of
lying on the
that.
side?
That's what threw us off so much.
It's someone getting
Yeah.
slept. Is it just random, or is it...
I guess if we saw
Sword
the
person.
fur zoomed in, we'd be like, oh, yup.
You got
too
baited.
easy.
I
You
saw
got
her
baited.
hoof.
So, look, Kitty got baited, thinking, yes, that has to be the champ in the bottom corner. But again, these portraits, they're damn huge. And there's a
Yes.
lot on them, so you've got to memorize every single bit. Now, I believe we're going to be going into a third one. And this, of course, is not just a default portrait. It's a skin
Oh,
portrait.
skin too, yeah.
So, good luck. Let's jump in, and let's see how you go.
Maybe a sand-related skin?
Maybe, but that's not
It looks
correct.
like a Shurima thing going on.
One of those illuminated skin lines. Is it that Jax
It's
one?
that Blitzcrank skin. No.
Negative.
Oh, it's a Hecarim skin.
Ooh,
But I don't know what it's called. It's... Wait. Yeah, wait, I don't know. It's Lancer Hecarim or something?
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah, but he doesn't have one, so it's like Zero Lancer Hecarim, right?
Wait, what? Hecarim?
You got it. You got 2 of the 3 words, so again you get another
Oh,
2 points.
no.
And Kitty, congratulations! You've absolutely smashed it out of the park, and you've got 10 points
Thank you,
in
thank you.
3 turns. So I don't know how that works, but
We're
fastest.
chilling on the sidelines here.
I don't know if anyone's ever going to top that. I reckon
No.
I want to watch back that first one on Twitch chat. Yeah, everyone just saw it. Rusty just hits it with the WTF straight in chat. Like,
Fair
what
enough.
is wrong? How has she
Yep.
done this? So congrats, Kitty. Now the absolute champion of
Thank
the
you, thank
champion
you.
conundrum of the LCO. Nuts. Absolutely insane. Now, okay, well that went probably faster than I expected because Kitty's absolutely goated on the champ conundrum. But look, let's talk about from the fans, which I believe we've got a lot of content for as well. So today, it is draw your favorite champion, and there has been some absolute cracker submissions on how to look on Twitter. And to submit them, of course, go on over to @LCO or just put your picture up and hashtag or @LCO, and we'll have a look at it. But I think we got a few to have a look at as well. So make sure you get them in. Make sure you follow the Twitter while you're at it too. While you're there, why not? You know? All right, let's bring it up. Let's have a look at what this person has drawn and who it is as well. So, Refury.
Oh, the king.
Cassidy, that is beautiful. That is some sick paint skills, and I bet you he's done that with a mouse as well. Absolute Picasso. What are your thoughts on this one, Kitty?
Yo, that's Kaisa's dad. Well, instead of the dad lore going on here, we do like the MS Paint, we like the effort. I didn't even know Cassidy had horns, but we do see his blade coming in on the side. We do respect the effort in trying to color it in with like your pen, but there is a tool called the paint bucket tool, I believe. So maybe invest into, or maybe look into it that next time we do one of these. But yeah, A for effort.
Ooh, I like the idea. Now, I'm not sure if he's horny or if he's spiky, but maybe we can get that one checked that by the stats man on the side. Now, let's jump on into submission number 2. Let's see who it is. It, of course, is Hissy Bringing in, oh my, this,
Wow,
you
look
work
at
it right?
this.
What's going on?
We've just gone from MS Paint to pure Photoshop, haven't we?
Her
This
staff
is
is an
insane.
actual banana.
A banana star.
This is really good.
I love bananas. I love potassium. Look, Kitty, tell me what's so good about this one.
I love the outline with the black, even though it just makes the entire art pop out. I like the background, it has like a nice pattern going on. But respect to the banana, an actual banana on the stuff, because we stick by the character, and the little two hearts is also really cute. But yeah, I just love this artwork so much, it's so cute.
It's very damn good indeed. Now let's jump on and see what the third picture is. What kind of Picassos we've got? Oh, it's
Hey.
Melg with it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's Draku.
It's beautiful. Oh, it's Drag.
This is how Emil wishes he was when he was playing Braum in the bot lane.
Oh, it's Braum. Right, there's no shield. Or is that Dora's shield?
It could be, honestly. Like,
Is his shield a door in any of
It
the
is
skins?
it is a door, yeah.
Okay, well there you go. So Amelg's actually nailed this one perfectly. So, you know, mwah, beautiful chef's kiss for that one, even though we're not cooking. But we'll see what the fourth person is cooking as well. Jump on in and see what this fourth submission is. It's Carbon with his
Yes.
favorite champion, Rockman and Stickboy.
good on Ivan, right? I like how the caption says, "Is this the best top laner?" That really shows you, sort of how far deviated we've gone from the jungle meta, where you can just, make those camps as friends. Doesn't have to smite steal them or anything.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. And have a look at this. Something you love to see. That deserves a banana staff for that number 2. So I'm just going to make it. I don't know how it's going to go. My banana's kind of overripe.
Soraka
But I've
cosplay?
made my own
got
Soraka
an art
banana
project happening
staff.
here.
Oh, it's going too
Oh,
Oh
no.
no! Oh no!
It's going in the blender later, so it's fine. A bit messy though. Don't know where to put it. It's going to make my desk sticky. So, hey guys. So anyway, that's it for From the Fans. If you want to draw your favorite champ, make sure you get it in at LCO and make it happen. But let's start to talk teams. We got Direwolves, we got Chiefs for the first game of the day. Skimmy, talk me through Direwolves, please.
Yeah, well, Dire was a very exciting team. They certainly did, as Kenny mentioned already, do a lot of experimenting to start off the split with some creative drafts, some interesting ideas, and obviously some changes in their roster. So Bulldog is now back into the starting 5. He's back in the support position, so no time for him to substitute Jungle Phil. Going to be exciting to see how he plays, right? Because they've had a few games now with Shinky playing. Bulldog back into the mix of things, and sort of what we fell in love with him was obviously his personality, but his charisma in game, right? His ability to try and play quite aggressively and do some nice link-up roam plays with Frost too. So excited to see what they bring into this one. It feels like they've certainly settled down a lot more in recent weeks. It feels like the majority of their crazy experiments came into these strong top 4 teams, but they've got that win now. They took it against Order, so standard might be the way forward.
Well, that's it. Always good to see Bulldog back in that bot lane as well. But Kitty, talk to me about Chiefs, because they don't lose much, and I'm not too sure if that's going to happen again for them today.
I love Chiefs when they teamfight. I think it's the best we've seen in the split so far, especially Tapoon. Tapoon is the superstar of the split in my opinion, especially with him on the flanking champions like the Renekton and the Akali.
Yeah.
I actually think Chiefs have perfected the art of flanking, because during those team fights, you actually see them so patient and waiting for Tapoon to actually find the angle to get onto that AD carry or even the mid laner. So I'm gonna assume that maybe Dials go for a Enchanter mid lane again, but how do you play an Enchanter mid lane with the Enchanter bot lane when you have a flanking Akali on your ADC?
Okay, now look, we're talking both these teams, right? And last time they went head-to-head, Direwolves, I think they copped a pretty hefty L, which was quite unfortunate. But they've looked much better. So if Gyosei's popping off, if you got Frost playing his game, and look, Gudo's even been starting to impress me as well. Oh wait, this was the Janna game. This is when things just went bad from the beginning, remember?
Yeah, this game was interesting because, obviously they're playing Janna. Tapoon then goes demolish Jace, so he's just split pushing up the Storm and taking down everything. One thing that really stood out for me in this game, which is the only game we've had, is Chiefs got all 5 turret plates from top, mid, and bot. It's the only game that's happened this split where that's happened. So that's just so many resources and giving them a big lead. But ultimately it came down to who could carry harder, Frost or Tapoon, and the Jace poke was too much. So you saw in that last play, Frost tries to make a bit of a hero's entrance and realizes, oh wait, I am still a very squishy Zeri. and they fall on down, unfortunately.
Look, I think that's the thing. The bar's set pretty low for Zorinus to outperform himself from last game, right? So he's definitely going to have a better performance in that matchup. Although up against Tapoon, it's always going to be difficult. So Kitty, look, if you're playing in top lane against Tapoon, what would you do?
Well, there was a thing called Yumi Top where you also CS and you just, sit on the jungler after you hit 6. So maybe the Yumi Top, I don't know if it still works. Well, I do know because Spellthief's actually got nerfed, so probably not going to see Zorinus doing his Janna Redemption arc. But let's look at the two top laners. So we do have Zorinus' most played are Camille, Vayne, and the Vladimir, which are more comfort picks in my opinion when we do put Zorinus on those champions. And when it comes to Tapoon, he has a more flexible champ pool. I believe he had 10 different champions in his champ pool. We do see the Renekton and the Akali both really good champions for the flank. And Gragas is just currently meta, so he has picked that a lot as well. But if we look at the KP, Tapoon is actually a bit lower than Zorinus because he is on those champions like the Graves, building Hullbreaker, always constantly split pushing on the side. So that has lowered his average KP just a little bit, but look at the average damage to objectives. This man is probably pushing three top towers every single game with that Hullbreaker, so absolutely insane.
Yeah, doing just so much damn work. So even though there were a couple of those stats that favor Zorinus slightly, it's it's a tough one. It's very tough going up against Tapoon, who arguably is that sort of strongest top laner here in the LCO. But look, I've got someone else to have a chat to, and it is my good friend Tally. So maybe the strongest mid laner at the moment in the LCO. I guess we will find out. So Tally, talk to me. Now that Shock isn't here in the LCO, what's it feel like to be the king of mid?
I mean, it's great. Like, I had to take over his role as the Zillion player. So, I'm glad I have that as my title now.
Very true. Best Zillion AU in mid lane. Of course, I'm sure there's some subs that may, try to take that off you. Now, look, Arthur yesterday had his best game to date, and he told us afterwards that you weren't useless for the first time. Did you say anything nice to him after that?
Yeah, no, I said that, wow, I can't believe you're finally playing like you did in scrims. You're not, afraid or nervous. So, I think it was a good job that, he finally was playing up to, what we see when we practice.
Yeah, very good. And good to see a performance from him like that. Which team do you think is going to be coming 5th in the LCO at the moment? Because there's a few contenders, and we're not sure which way it's going to go.
Well, I mean, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really looked at the standings right now, but,
Okay.
if it's a battle between, what was it, Dials, Mammoth, Gravitar, something like that,
yeah,
I would
Kanga.
probably... I actually think Kanga is, on the up, they're on the up, so I think that with Doink playing mid now, I think they have a more aggressive style, and that's something you can definitely do in the LCO and pick free wins of teams that aren't ready for it.
Okay, very good. So good to get your take on that. And also, as I'm sure you're aware, it's World Compliment Day today. So is there anyone out there you'd like to give a compliment?
Actually, I was looking at this before, and I was wondering if you got a haircut recently because I thought you were looking very nice. So, I love it.
Thank you. I did actually get my hair cut today before the show, so thanks for noticing. It's always good when people sort of notice what you're doing with your hair. Anyway, good luck today, and we'll talk to you after the game if you get that done.
Thank you very much.
He won't compliment Arthur, but he'll compliment you, bro.
I'm blushing. I didn't expect the compliment. I wasn't fishing for him. I was expecting him to compliment, one of his teammates for playing well, or I don't know, his misses, or maybe the org, but I got it. So feeling pretty special. Now, look, let's talk about predictions. Not ours, just yet. Let's talk about the Dare fan vote. So you guys get your Twitch points in, figure out which team you're going to be going for, which team you're going to be throwing those Twitch points on, and we'll have the Dare fan vote to check in just into the game to see which way you guys decided to swing those votes. 58% to 42%. That's probably not my guess. I'm thinking it's more like an 80-20. Probably got some die-hard fans that are looking for them juicy Twitch points. But of course, we got to look at our predictions here as well. So, Kitty, talk to me. Which way have you gone, and why is it Chiefs?
Well, I've just gone with rank 1. Chiefs have been performing absolutely out of their minds from everyone, Raze and I believe it's Tally as well, stepping up into the spotlight as well. But, you know, they are going against Styles tonight. And I did mention that when Kyose and Shinki are on the same team, they tend to pick the 2 enchanters. And something that Chiefs is really good at is flanking. And once you flank onto the ADC of Direwolves, it's really hard for them to win.
That's true, that's true. Now, I'm going with that, you know, sort of Dare fan vote level 80-20. I'm giving Direwolves 20% after what we saw from them yesterday. Not too sure, like, so Shinki was a bit of a playmaker for Direwolves and definitely helped them get a couple of dubs. But Bulldog as well, this man has been making moves. And if there is that synergy remaining in that bot lane, then I'm still sort of relying on him to be, you know, he's back off the bench. He's looking to make some impact to show what he's capable of. And I want to see what he can do. I think that he might have something up his sleeve for us. So, Skimmy, tell me, are we going to see him on that Thresh again, or do you think we're going to see him going sort of more towards something a bit more tanky?
It's interesting. I think it depends how they go in the drafting phase, right? Because we've certainly seen, as the weeks go by, teams not so much banning meta, more so targeting individuals. So making sure that, for example, if you're going into Direwolves, they're targeting Kyose, right? Banning all the mid laners, making his life as hard as possible.
Yeah.
So it could certainly open up the doors for them to play some of those engage heavy supports down bot lane. I'd imagine they're going to want to try and be aggressive and challenge the likes of Raze and Draku, but I wouldn't be quite surprised if, as Kitty mentioned, they try and go like a double Enchanter once again and just, you know, let Frost carry them.
It seems like Enchanters are just like all over the place. They're just so good at the moment. We did see, you know, the age of the Tarm, the age of the tanks, you know, in the last couple of weeks. And let's see if that age has changed, because Champ Select is ready. It's time for game 1 here on day 2, week 6. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Yes, Kitty, back in the casting seat, out of the interviews and into the mix of things. As we're going to start things off here with Chiefs, this time on blue side.
I am back once again. I've imposted my way into the crewmate ship, so we are going to see the Veigar being banned out away from Tally, and Kyose Syndra is actually gone. I would be scared if I was Chiefs as well. And his Ahri, target banning Kyose once again, but we have seen Kyose play a lot more champions, so it is fine. And we actually saw Chiefs flex the Zillion pick instead of just giving the Zillion pick to Tally. We actually saw Draku play it the other day, so that also makes a lot of sense. And we're gonna see Jinx being picked away here. I actually like Jinx in the current meta more than the Aphelios. I think with these explosive teamfights, with the Jinx getting the resets, she has a lot more value compared to an Aphelios.
Okay.
So we're gonna see that being picked away from picked for Raze and away from Frost.
Which is a good talking point, actually, because if you look at the last 8 games for the Chiefs, they've only played Jinx once. It was paired with a Nautilus. Compare that to Frost, as you mentioned. And he's played that 4 times, so he's had a much more bigger emphasis, you would say, on that one. Here's the Ziggs, though. Now, I suppose we've been crying for something to change for such a long time. We're not obviously going to jump to conclusions, but we have seen Ziggs in the bot lane in metas gone by, but it has been so heavily dominated by these lethal tempo carries.
This is going to be our first time seeing a Ziggs potentially bot lane. It's pretty good into the Jinx because you can just perma wave clear. And if I'm expecting Dials to pick the Ziggs, they're most likely going to be playing towards the other side of the map, aka towards Zoranus, where he's going to have another hard time versing the best top laner in the league right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like both Zoranus and Tapoon fill similar roles in terms of what they bring to the team, the versatility. You know, having played the most champions in the league right now, 10 and 11 respectively, it's kind of crazy in that regard. What would they do? Because, you know, one combo that springs to mind that I would love to see get banned away is the Camille. We know that Zoranus loves it. Pair that with the Ziggs, you're locked in place, you just can't do anything.
We do see Chiefs taking the Tahm Kench. Draku loves Tahm Kench. I don't know why Dials actually left the Tahm Kench open. It does quite well into the Nautilus because every time the Nautilus ulties, the Jinx or even whatever carry the ults, the Tahm Kench can always just eat him.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking about the Camille, I am expecting Zoranus to maybe even pick a Camille for this game. We see Tryndamere.
Yeah, Tryndamere going to come out, which is going to be a hot talking point now as to do Direwolves flex this? Does Kyose actually want to play this one in the mid lane? Or is this causing some headaches for Chiefs to decide, well, what do our bans now look like? Question is obviously then, what do Direwolves ban away? Because Chiefs has you know, got a pretty formidable front three.
Dials definitely ban away the mid laners and top laners because you do want this Tryndamere to be a flex. wherever the Tryndamere has a better matchup, we will put him there. I haven't actually seen Kyosei play a lot of Tryndamere, so I'm assuming it's going to be a top lane Tryndamere. But we do see the Lee Sin actually being taken away. I have a theory. I think all Koreans are just cracked at Lee Sin. I don't know why. It's just something in their blood. I think they're just born knowing how to play Lee Sin perfectly. So that's going to be banned away from Gudo. And yeah, we see the Renekton being banned, which is also one of the top plays from Tapoon.
Yeah.
And from Chiefs, I'm just expecting another jungle ban.
Wouldn't be too surprised. They put a big emphasis on removing Gudo's comfort, right? You know, you take away the Xin, you take away the Lee Sin. Both of them, as you say, Korean junglers are pretty cracked. That has been their most played with the Lee Sin, and now the Jarvan too, so really limiting the options for any kind of attack damage, any kind of hard engage from that jungle position.
This Gwen can also be flex top lane, even mid lane. I have seen I have seen Yuri actually play in the mid lane. So it's not going to be impossible for a three-way flex, but we do see the Volibear being locked in once again.
Yeah, this seems to be default, right? Whenever those other champions are banned away, if he doesn't want to go for something like, you know, Hannah, Volibear comes into play. This was actually played last time, if you remember, between Direwolves and GSW. We had that crazy level 3 dive in the mid lane onto Tally's Veigar. So, you know, he's hopefully looking to try and dust that one away as Chiefs now deciding what their response is.
A redeeming game for Gudo's Volibear, but we do see the Chiefs locking in the Gnar, which is also a really good blind pick in the meta right now. He can also go Hullbreaker, which is something that Tapoon always wants to build because he is a tower-destroying monster.
Certainly is, and he showcased that already multiple times, just how sort of free he can be. If left to his own devices, you have to try and gank him, or he will run right on the map. So that is going to be the Gnar. That's going to be the final pick on towards Arise, which is now a welcome invitation to start to see more teams play it. This will be the first time Tally's had his hands on it all split long.
I love teams that pick Rise. It is very LPL-esque because Rise does provide the CC in the early game, and he has really good scaling with his build of the Fimbulwinter, I believe. That's how you say the name. But yeah, this Rise pick, I really like it. Jace being responded by Dials for this Gnar. I actually saw someone build Hullbreaker on Jace a few days ago. I don't know if that's the most common build on the Jace, but he can match it potentially for this Gnar.
Yeah, we saw it last night actually, and we're sort of looking at some of the you know, the build paths around the world. It's very, very rare, but there have been cases where Hullbreaker has been purchased, so it's interesting to see that when the circumstances align, they feel comfortable to go down that direction. Obviously, it does delay your power spike a little bit in a different regard, but obviously give you a lot of sieging strength when forward upon. That is going to be the Tryndamere revealed now in the mid lane. A first here for Kyosei.
Yeah, Kyosei is more known for those mid lane mages or even the enchanters, so this is going to be really exciting to see what Kyosei brings to the table with this Tryndamere mid. They do have really high DPS coming out of Dials' top side because they have drafted these Ziggs in the bot lane, so this Volibear will mostly be playing towards Zoranus and Kyosei.
So what do you think about these two different rosters? Because I'm looking at Chiefs, for instance, a lot of hard engage, a lot of flanking angles, a lot of protection with the Time Kench in particular, right, to make sure that, you know, if you do try and make something crazy happen, you are safe. But on the side of Direwolves, they've got a lot of poke. I'm looking at the likes of the Ziggs, a Jace, and then you got all the follow-up, the rundown potential with the likes of a Tryndamere and a Volley.
So looking at Chiefs' comp, it's very textbook. They do have really good frontline, and I just really enjoy watching Dracu play that Tahm Kench. I think he is one of the best Tahm Kenches in the league right now, maybe second to Beats. He knows how to position for the ADC and not getting caught when you are such an important peel for the Jinx in this game. And, you know, Tally on his farming mid lane, he's going to just scale to late game for free with Arthur on the Gwen. Arthur has been playing a lot of Gwen, so he's quite good in terms of getting that early lead that translate into a better late game. Depends on the Gnar. We haven't seen a lot of Gnar in the LCO. Gnar is quite popular in other regions like the LPL and LCK. So I'm quite excited to see how Gnar does in this game. And looking at Direwolves, they have the Nautilus Ziggs combo. It's quite dangerous for this Jinx if she does get poked down by the Ziggs in lane, because they do have a kill angle on this bot lane of Chiefs. And Kyosei on the Tryndamere, I've actually never seen this from him, so this is going to be really interesting on how the lane plays out, but I'm assuming that Tally just gets early push on him.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting also is the fact that you know, the Ziggs was picked in the first rotation from Direwolves, so there's a clear investment in that this has to work. We've revealed it early. We are showcasing that we'd rather get counterpick elsewhere. We can't afford to fall behind because we know what Frost is capable of. He has been a formidable carry this season and will need to be once again because they are trying to take down the Chiefs. Speaking of, let's welcome back their coach and bring on Kuden.
Here's a
Hey Kuden, well congratulations, obviously a fantastic start closing out what will be the second round robin. A 12-1 record, I mean how do you retain that level of consistency?
focus. We focus every game. It's life or death to us. There's no trolling allowed ever in draft, in game, real life. We're always focused 24/7, 247.
I know you're focused because we heard from our last conversation, right? You said, you know, what's our key to success? You mentioned we're all going to get pentakills, yourself included. So what can we expect from this game?
You can expect focus and retrospection, but mainly focus. Always focus.
All the big words, all the mental
Focus.
hindsight. Fantastic. All right, Kuden, well, it looks like you've been focused. The coaching buff has been activated. We're going to crack on with this game, and I wish you boys the best luck going forward.
Focus.
Well, that's first blood going to Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the coaching buff really did work, right? Because, you know, we talked to a coach, and then we avoided so many first bloods, but now it's happened again.
Yep, we do see Arthur actually wrapping around. Zorinus dying and giving first blood to Tapoon. This is already a really rough start for Zorinus, just putting him more behind. But we do see a blue star coming from the Gwen and a, well, blue star from both junglers. So this Volibear will most likely be pathing towards this Jace because he is the main focus for Dials in this comp.
Yeah, especially at the start here, which is why, as you say, him falling down early is a little bit disastrous, to say the least. To see how he tries to navigate this one, because if you look, you know, pound for pound, I feel like their roles are quite similar in terms of they can play the carries, they can play the engagers, they can flank, as we've seen so far too. But pound for pound in laning stats, right, Tapoon would just be a better version of him. So his life's not going to get any easier than the current state it's in. So Gudo's certainly got his work cut out for him.
Ray's actually chucked this sneaky ward on the blue, so Chiefs now know that Volibear is pathing towards the top side, and with Gwen pathing towards bot, they're gonna secure the Scuttle Crab because Volibear will go for the top Scuttle Crab. With Zorinus hard pushing, so that's an obvious indicator as well. If I'm looking from Dials' bot lane, I would just farm and try to... Jinx actually does really well into the... Did I say Ziggs or Jinx? Well, Ziggs actually did really good into the Jinx, especially for the late game, because Jinx wants to walk forward to auto, but with the Ziggs E, she gets way too poked out to actually even put out that DPS. Goodo.
There, isn't he? He's waiting to make a play happen. Going to get revealed by a great ward from Tapoon. So all that time, planning, patience, perseverance goes to waste.
This is just the result of Ray's actually putting that ward down at blue buff. Tapoon knew that the jungler of Dials was pathing towards him, so that was a really nice ward coming out of Tapoon.
Alpha's going to replace his ward also, working its way into the enemy's Gromp, so he's going to have a pretty good idea once Gudo does go for the reset. He actually clears out top side, tries to find out where Arthur is, but both will now go for their first base back. And already, only 4 minutes in here, Kitty. We've got a 1,000 goldie for the Chiefs.
Where's the CS difference actually? Let's look. So it's actually going to be in the ADC role where Race is up by 100 already. Why is that? Maybe oh, well, it's because the Jinx is currently pushing into the Ziggs, where as a mage, it's really hard to actually CS under tower, especially when you have the empowered auto. It's really hard to actually get those minions that have been kind of messed up from earlier poke. But being a mage, you never want to be pushed in trying to CS farm under tower. You see Zorinus getting chunked quite a bit here.
He's going to be doing just what you said you don't want to see, right? You know, he is so low right now. That's a huge wave to lose. He's already burnt his TP. Doesn't want to burn the flash unless he has to. And Tapoon's going to remind him, I'm going to proxy this wave. I'm going to proxy your ability to even have any fun in this game.
Top lane is definitely the most volatile lane going into this game, and we actually see Zorinus losing 3 waves here, even maybe 4, because he does not have that TP since he died earlier for the first blood. So Jace is being put very behind when you do have a Ziggs in the bot lane who wants to play weak side, so this is going to be really bad for the Dials.
Certainly is, but they're going to try and make a play on the map. A flash wall from Bulldog, that's good. On towards Tally. Can they finally back up? They cannot. Chiefs just lagging slightly behind.
I actually really like this play from Bulldog because you do have the Ziggs playing weak side. You want to look for those ganks in mid and especially top. I don't even know if top is salvageable anymore. He's down so much CS and experience. It's just hard to watch.
Yeah, considering the itemization as well, right? You want to try and get that tier online, survive, and ramp up the damage as the game goes on. Does beg a question as to what build he will go this time. If it will be the standard, you know, Eclipse into Muramana, or if he decides to hit that forbidden tech of the Hullbreaker.
Yeah, he has a serrated Dirk, so it's most likely going to be an Eclipse coming out of Zonus today. But we do see Tally getting that push in before Kyosei backs, so they will have priority for this dragon or even a potential bot play.
That's where Arthur is, and as you say, he's on the hunt, working his way very closely to level 6, just needs a few more minions, a camp, or perhaps just a sneaky invitation into the Dragon Pit. All lanes are pressed against, so no real worry about an invade.
Guro is not getting much out of this top lane camp because there are no camps coming. Well, Blue is spawning very soon, but there is no Gromp, there is no Wolves. So Guro's going to be just patiently waiting for this blue while Arthur actually secures the Inferno Drake for Chiefs.
Certainly does. Tally helps him with that one. Going to be a cross-map trade here, exchanging blue buffs. As 4 members of the Chiefs collapse to guarantee it is theirs, Dire will only now figure out that has been taken away from them. Tapoon's going to poke his head in. Don't say it's going to happen, Kitty. Surely not.
It's out of vision, so... Okay, nice. We do see Raze having a 16 CS differential in the ADC already.
Here we go, though. Here we go. Tapoon in trouble. He's just gone back to Mini, so he's in a whole world of pain. They need this. He's hit the bop and the bounce. He might just be out. The shout is good enough, but the flash forward from Guro. Kill confirmed.
This is a really good response coming out of Dials because you do know that Arthur took the Inferno Drake with the Rise roaming down to bot lane. So being Dials, you want to make a play top, even forcing the flashes of Kyosei just to secure that kill.
Yeah, that kill actually nets them turret play as well, but it has been matched by Tally in the bot side. Nearly finding a kill also in favor of Chiefs in the bot lane too, but it's just able to get away. Frost keeps his flash intact, and a Mega Inferno Bomb will trim that wave.
We do see Arthur actually going for the Herald now, but Ziggs with no TP, the Jinx just gets free plates and she just scales even harder.
Second objective, 8 minutes in, we're on towards that Rift. Herald Direwolves in the area, looking to put up a bit of a showing. They will have numbers advantage in just a second. It will be 4v3, but it's a little bit too late as Arthur secures that one. Timing just not quick enough, and have a big way to exploit more plates.
It's really rare to actually see a team securing both Dragon and Herald in 2 plays in a row. If I was Dials, after making that top play, I would also go for the Herald because you're already so behind in objectives.
Yeah. Would have been such a great way to bail out Xeranos as well, right? More plates in his inventory, a easier way for him to try and match the power of this Gnar, which is, at the moment, honestly, has been evened out, right? Back to 66 CS. He's still a level behind, but he's having a minion wave to trim.
We do see Guro hovering top lane once again, getting that red buff. He also has the Herald. Oh wait, no. Arthur has a Herald in hand. If I was Arthur, I would put this Herald in the Jinx. She's already secured 2 plates, I believe. And that's Jackie going to be leaving. But Jinx has already secured 2 plates from that bot tower. If Arthur puts his Herald in the bot lane, this Jinx will have 5 tower plates, and she'll most likely rotate to either top or mid.
Yeah, and it's also going to be huge for the side of the Jinx, right? You can set up a bit of a dive, get excited from that tower collapsing, and maybe hunt down a kill. I suppose, I mean, it's been such a long time since we last saw Ziggs in the region, right? Such a hot minute since that meta was really at the forefront of things. But, you know, back in the day, we were always putting a big emphasis. If you're drafting Ziggs, you're guaranteeing that first Herald goes your way because of the easy execution, right? It was a Herald summon into a satchel charge into turrets just melting like butter.
Yeah, so Dial's actually not securing the Herald after the play on Tapoon was really bad for the side of Dials because you do miss out on that opportunity. But we do see Kyosei having a 0-0 KDA with, I believe, the 2 solo laners from Chiefs getting killed once. But the most important bit is that Jinx. Razor's Jinx is currently going to maybe receive the 5 plates, and he's going to be the main win con coming out of Chiefs.
No doubt. And I mean, if there's ever a time for you to try and find a win con in a game like this, then you would invest in Raze, right? I feel like we've seen from the side of Chiefs that of a handful of teams, they have been certainly one, top of the table in terms of every player on their team has shown a carry performance, right? You've seen Tapoon do it, you've seen Arthur do it last night. Tali's shown, from time and time again that he can certainly put in those carry performances when called upon, but I don't think anybody's ever going to complain when the star of the show, the spotlight is honed in on Raze. He's been always such an interesting player to keep an eye on, and I mean, I think the game that really stood out for me, really showcased his class and why he is still, the GOAT, if you will, was that game on Tristana, right? How many times did he rocket jump in? Missed, but then finally, he's scaled into that late game portion and able to carry over. So if the Jinx can get fed nice and early, then that Ziggs may just be taken out of the equation early.
Something I really respect Raze for doing, especially on that Tristana, is making those cutthroat plays, especially the one where we saw him jump onto Puma, and he absolutely just executed him before the Dragon play. I think he's the only ADC we've actually seen making those type of plays, so I really like that type of play style.
Yeah, and also another person that I do like is Mac, so we're going to welcome him back onto the show and talk things through whilst we're at a bit of a junction here with a pause.
Hey, yeah, bit of an odd little DC coming through, so unfortunate. But talk to me. So that first blood, Zoranus, did he think he had an isolated fight, or what was going on there? Because it was a little awkward too. Coach interview was happening, and I could tell, I could hear Kitty just like giggling, and I was like, is she laughing at the interview?
Well, I have no idea even what happened in that first blood. All I heard was focus, and then I became focused, and then it just spiraled out of control. So, Kitty, if you can run me through what happened there.
Yep, so I actually have a theory. I think the amount of times Kuden said focus, it actually brainwashed Zoranus into being focused and tunnel vision on that Gnar at the blue buff. So what we saw was Zoranus pushing up as the Jace into the enemy blue buffs, spotting the Gnar, and he wanted to get maybe a trade, even a kill, but Arthur actually wrapped around the wall and came from the back, popping the ghost, so it was a 1v2 and Zoranus just gave first blood.
It was a man, he's a man of many skills, and brainwashing is definitely one of them. I heard we actually have a replay, so we can look back at it rather, and have a quick little play-by-play. So Skinny, look, you missed it. Have a crack at this.
Yeah, so how would I played this one if I was in the heat of the moment? So you got a ward, so Zoranus is feeling comfortable about this one, but he realizes, hang on a minute, why is there a jungler here? Oh wait, that's because this is where he should be. He should be taking this camp, and he may have just run that one down and said, I thought it was going to be a bit of a gentleman's agreement, 1v1 solo queue style. Not to be the case.
How much impact does that have? Because you could see that Zoranus, he still had that flash ready. He didn't want to waste it and didn't want to be open to like ganks for the next couple of whiles. He just was kind of like, oh, yeah, look, screwed this one up, and then just sort of like cut his losses, let the kill happen so he could get back to lane in time. Like, what's going on there? If you've committed to it, what's the thought process at that point? Like, and specifically, at what point has Zoranus, sort of screwed the pooch there, kid?
Well, we actually saw Zoranus obviously giving that first blood over to the Gnar, 400 gold in his pockets, and he actually had to burn the TP very early in the game just to make it back to lane. And from what we saw, the Gnar actually pushed him, even poking him to maybe 200 health and losing, I believe, maybe 4 or 5 waves of experience. So that's going to be really, really bad from the side of Dials. Oh, bye.
Oh, well, we're in. So I really appreciate that, little conversation piece, the explanation. But we're back to live. We're back in the game, and we're ready to crack on with things here. So 10 minutes in, and that was the conversation piece, right? What does it really mean for Zoranus? He dies the first blood. He was getting zoned away from a huge wave, but he's being assisted by his team, and that gank from the volley bear has certainly helped out.
Because of these constant ganks from Gudo, Zoranus has actually salvaged his CS and making it even getting a little bit of a lead in terms of that.
Here we go, though. This is what you wanted to see. You wanted to see them summon the Herald in the bot lane, and that is what they will do. Kyosei going to actually get a kill topside, so they really are targeting Tapoon, but that's not without Chiefs answering back in the bot lane. They've found 2 as a trade. They've summoned the Herald. They're going to find that turret. Now it's game on for Zoranus to get as many plates of his own.
We do see Dials taking in the shot of PGG. Focus Tapoon to win. This is the second, well, kill on Tapoon. But we do see Raze picking up 5 tower plates on that bot lane. And potentially even more because it is only 11 minutes. 3 auto cancels coming out of Kyosei, but that's okay because he pops the ulti for this dive. Plus the volley bear ult is just a secure kill for Kyosei.
Oh, look at that. That's disrespectful though, isn't it? Like, it looked like he was going to cancel another auto attack, and then he flashes away. It's like, no.
This is a game of deception.
Beautiful play. Fantastic play. And it's really put Zeranis back in the driving seat, right? He's hit that Eclipse. He's hit his mythic item actually before Tapoon now.
Yep, we do see the ADC of Chiefs coming for those mid plates. Now that is only 11 minutes, he can secure another 10 plate. It is possible. But Dragon is spawning soon, and coming from Frost, he has no sums for this fight.
I should say, Raze will have flash advantage. That could prove to be pretty critical in this upcoming fight. You'd imagine it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath, given that right now Kyosei's on a wide flank. I'm not sure if he was looking to try and steal away that red buff, or if he was just trying to really scope out where that warding situation could be found. Tally forced to hit that phase rush early and try and respond onto this Tryndamere too.
This fight is focused on Tapoon getting that Mega Gnar and getting that 5-man ulti.
He's hit Mega now, so what can Tapoon do? He doesn't have flash, burned it in that previous gank. Perhaps just his posturing with the chompers laid down, that is enough of a zoning threat, and she's picked up their second Drake.
It's actually really hard being Dials to fight in these jungle terrain because of that Gnar zone. Especially with that choke, the Jinx Chompers just kind of zone the entire team of Dial out of that Drake. So it's really hard to being Dials playing for these Drakes because of that zone coming out of the Mega Gnar.
Seen teams have to dance around that in the past, but yeah, a little bit too much of an ask, especially this early on when you're not fighting for a soul point.
Draku's cracked the case. He's like, you know, they always gank top, so I'm gonna hover top as well. Wait, that's good on bot lane. Draku's not hovering Tapoon. Tapoon's just going to be casted on an island for this game.
Yeah, we thought he was going to give him a helping hand, but Tapoon's been told, no, go back to bot lane, pick up the lanes, deal with this Jace, which you've dealt with accordingly at the start, but things have fizzled out a little bit from there. Arthur, however, he's got other ideas. He's hit the challenging slide, he's got the ghost active, and a snip here. And shredded like a paper cut.
You see Goro going for another dive on Tapoon.
Stormbringer comes out nice and early, disabling the turret for some crucial seconds, and they run that play back time and time again. I mean, that's another kill, another turret plate, and another death from Tapoon.
Draku was pretty late to the play, and now he's all alone for this bot tower, so he's most likely
He's doing a lot of work though, Kenny. Look at this. He's actually going to clutch in a 1v2. Draku, unbelievable.
Wait, that's 2 kills.
Unbelievable. Draku the king. The Rocket's actually going to get the assist, which then becomes the kill, and like that is just... There's no way.
Well, I'm sorry, that was always the play intended. Draku got 2 kills, only, you know, burning the ignite coming out of his end. Wow, I don't know if that was a mechanical play, a misplay coming out of Dials, or Draku just absolutely smurfing out of his mind.
Like the deceptive nature of a Tom Kench, right? Just so tanky. The Devour buying in precious seconds, the fixed skin shield, all the mitigation in the world. Apart from the play that he individually made, I think the biggest benefactor has to be Raze. The fact that he gets that kill, he's now got a bounty, and he's now got a Nautilus hungry to take him down. He might just actually kill him! Yes, Kraken Slayer OP! Flashing away, he's excited,
oh, no.
and he is outplaying.
Even got the CC off on Kyosei.
Pistol dive, it's huge. Can they? Oh no!
Oh no, he didn't press ult!
No way! What are we watching? What is up with LCO players and not hitting Undying Rage?
I'm gonna say here, I think Chiefs is currently the best bot lane in the league so far. You know, Peace have been outscaled by Raze and Draku because they just 1v3'd in their own cases, yeah.
Look at Rage just cracking up in his webcam like there's no way. Like, how have we just got away with that? That's murder.
So we're gonna look at the replay. So Raze actually got Nautilus ulted, but the the Jace is actually still really far away. And this Nautilus gets 1 auto, but the Kraken Jinx is just too much damage. And if you look at the level difference, the ADC is currently 1 level ahead that Jace. And Kyosei pops the ghost, gets CC'd, burns flash, but not pressing ulti.
The auto spacing was beautiful. I mean, just 5 steps ahead. Raze, phenomenal. I mean, just the bot lane, Chief's bot lane, making so many plays a masterclass. This is the reason why they're 12-1.
Definitely a huge reason in why they are at the top of the standings right now, but we do see this dragon spawning once again, and we see that Zoranus doesn't have TP available for this fight, nor does Frost.
Good talking point, actually. What does it mean in terms of how they approach this next fight? Will they just try and stick to the wayside, farm up a few more waves, try and hit some more item spikes? Because as it stands for Zoranus, 200 stacks on that tier, so hitting that 2-item spike where it becomes pretty hard to pulling them out from. Tally posturing, might get collapsed upon. Top lane seems to be a little bit cursed right now, but Chiefs won't mind. That would be a sacrifice they're willing to make. Bot tier 2 is gone. It's going to get another charge off here, Kitty.
Something really interesting coming out of the statistics that were shown in the pre-show was that Chiefs actually had the highest wards per minute coming out of Draku, because we do see these wards being placed down before an objective spawns. They do have high control in terms of these objective plays, meaning that Dials can't actually contest them in any sort of way.
They certainly can't, and they've now just lost a inhibitor at 17 minutes in. What do we think about this one? Because I know there's obviously a lot of analysts out there that will say, that's a risk, you shouldn't be taking it, it's easy for Direwolves now to farm up some supers, but what's your assessment?
Jinx coming in with the rapid fire cannon, a really good purchase into the Ziggs. You do want to have that long range against 2 poke champions like the Jace and Ziggs. This Jinx is quite unstoppable with the Tahm-Kench peel as well, because of you want to play off the Volley Bear stun and the Nautilus ults for these fights, so it's going to be really hard actually reaching Raze in these team fights.
Dunya's got the guns locked and loaded, not only on the biceps, but with the pose too. Is this just a case of a bot lane that goes to the gym? They have a buff in-game, out of the game, and everywhere in between. They've been forced now, Direwolves, to try and answer back here in this bot lane, but able to find the pick that they're after.
So with the Nautilus pick, I actually expected Bulldog to roam a lot more, making those plays with Gudo, but currently he's sitting on 1 assist, so that's pretty bad for the side of Dials. They didn't get that early advantage, but it's also because Zoranus kind of got solo killed. Well, not solo killed, he gave first blood very early in the game.
7k gold lead. So if you're playing here, you know, if you're supporting this game, Kitty, 7k down, a soul point to try and contest in 3.5 minutes. What would your thoughts and feelings be?
If I was this Nautilus is a champion that gets outscaled, especially as a Tahm-Kench. This Tahm-Kench has a lot more value in these teamfights because you can provide both peel and engage. As a Nautilus, you didn't get that lead in the early game, so you're quite squishy, especially with only just the Swifties, not even an armor-plated boots. So this Nautilus is just going to be an R button and going to be wiped up by the Jinx.
Pretty big Jinx. Honestly, run it back with that highlight reel again. I just want to see it. That triple kill was gorgeous. Another turret goes down. That is the 6th turret this game that the side of Chiefs have found. And the side lanes really now just do not exist.
Tapoon did build the Hullbreaker because he is casted on an island. Arthur is playing towards Raze a lot this game, so the Hullbreaker is really smart, especially when you constantly have 2 people in your lane, when Gudo is camping Zoranus. Looking at the gold difference, Raze is 4k ahead of the Ziggs. One complete item, currently hitting the 3-item spike on the Jinx.
Yeah, there's a huge difference in that bot lane, as you see. And I guess, you know, when you talk about Ziggs, obviously makes it quite hard for teams to, you know, siege into. You've got some fantastic wave clear, but they are lacking it a little bit otherwise, right? Sure, the Jace and the Ziggs working together, targeting one lane would be fantastic, but you'd imagine that Chiefs are going to try and set up and hit side lanes, forcing them to break apart that pairing. Didn't have enough wave clear to sort of sustain the Chiefs if they do manage to pick up this Baron, because I feel like if they do, it's a little bit doomed as they're going to jump in here and try something. Draco not going to spot out the target he's after with that dive, but Alpha is certainly going to cause enough chaos and panic, so much so that Bulldog is forced to flash away and cop a rocket to his backside.
They do ban really quickly with the Gwen and 3-item Jinx as well, so that was kind of a walk into their quadrant of the jungle because of those wards being placed down. They just have so much vision control for this objective.
Oh, that was close. Frost tried, I respect the attempt. Wasn't going to be secure though, but he certainly gave it a crack. Dive goes out, Gudo now in trouble, forced to burn his ultimate. Flash intact, can they turn around now and collapse that on towards Draco? But look at the sustain! A locket, a summoner heal, and a fixed skin just to top things off. Gudo down, just like this mid-tier 2.
We do see the Nautilus ult.
Flashing onto Raze, this time he's got the Undying Rage, this time he finds revenge. And this time Kyosei himself has a bit of focus and retrospection.
He suddenly did focus down the ADC, getting that 1k shut down. Dracu wasn't actually around to provide that CC for the Tryndamere, so Raze kind of just died, which is okay, but Dives is still in a really hard situation with Dragon Soul coming up very soon.
3 seconds, be specific, so... And I will answer back anything, in particular, to say for Kyosei, who managed to pick up that shutdown bounty. Can he find anything? Being on 2 items complete so far. And he burnt double summoners just to make that happen.
Tally even burning the TP just to make it to this dragon fight a bit quicker. But the main focus is Tapoon's Mega Gnar once again.
Look at his Mega Bar, it's getting dangerously close to the evolution. Kyosei caught between a rock and a hard place. Does he have the spin to win? Or does he get knocked to the wayside? He gets crumbled on down. Now Ziggs is going to find a mid-tier 1. Alpha goes golden, topped up full HP. Does he have the immunity frames? He's going to get gobbled up here by Dracu. These Devourers, unbelievable. Always putting in the clutch factor. And they're now going to find themselves multiple members. Only Jace survives.
With the Tryndamere down, there's no one that can touch this Jinx in these team fights. This Jinx was just DPSing for free. We need to look at the damage graphs.
Imagine to be pretty high at this stage. I'd be very curious to see what the scoreboard looks like, and we might not be too far away from reaching that conclusion. 24 minutes in, Kyosei respawns and might be sent packing once again. Consumes his fury, his rage, and finds himself down at 50%. A do-or-die moment here for the Direwolves, who try to prevent the inevitable. The Nexus is the focus. The KDA has been padded, and Tapoon with a hole breaker will end this game.
What an amazing performance coming out of Raze and Dracu. They both got a double kill or even a triple kill in Raze's case. They're just mechanic maxing in this game.
They certainly were. And obviously there were a montage of moments there that we could really hone in on and say, what did this mean for the game as a whole? It started off with the first blood that went against Serenus. They put a lot of attention into his lane to bring him back into the game, but ultimately the Jake just was not enough, especially when your counterpart on the opposite side of the lane, that bot lane of Chiefs, they went to town, Kitty.
We do see Raze picking up multiple plays on that Jinx and maintaining that 10 CS per minute. It's absolutely nuts. You never want to give Raze that kind of advantage, especially on a Jinx that scales so well into the late game.
Certainly don't. And Mac, what did you make of a game like that? Because it really did have it all. If you're only now just tuning into the LCO for your first time, you're thinking that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, look, it was a very, very interesting game coming through there, especially for that bot lane duo. Raze was having a field day and laughing while doing it. And look, after that first little cluster of fun, whatever the hell that was, that just seemed to be more than enough for Chiefs to sort of run away with the game. So Direwolves, you could tell that their game plan was to try to play aggressive, but at the same time, it's just such an odd situation to be in. So look, I don't really know what else Direwolves could have done. They did try to fight early. They did try to make things happen and push their advantages. but it just didn't work. Chiefs were ready for it. Chiefs knew everything to do and were just bloody untouchable. Dragku as well, just huge plays coming out on the Tarm and able just to keep his teammates alive. Man, it's so much sustain. I did ask the question going into draft that first time, you know, are we going to see the age of the enchanters, or is it going to continue to be these tanky boys? And it seems like the tank supports were the key today. Maybe not so much for Direwolves, but of course it was for Dragku. So, look, I was very happy with how Chiefs played. A very solid, a very massive win, all things considered, because they could not. I guess if any team could afford the Copenhagen to Direwolves, it's probably Chiefs because they're 2 wins ahead of Pete. But Direwolves, they kind of needed this win as well. I think, look, going up against the best team in the league, they did an okay job.
Yep, they definitely did an okay job in terms of the early game. Not too early, maybe in the mid game, because Zoranus did pick up multiple kills on Tapoon. But Ray's absolutely smurfing out of his mind. You just can't outplay that as a Jace.
Yeah, it was just a whole lot going on. And having a look at the goal difference, it was just from that 10-minute mark, things just went south for Direwolves, but north, of course, for Chiefs. So big game from them. Not too much to really say. You know, Arthur, I was expecting him to have sort of a bigger game after that performance we saw from him yesterday, but it wasn't even necessary. It was just Raze just absolutely farming up a storm. He didn't even need to scale on the Jinx. It was just slowly but surely happening, right, Skimmy?
It was, yeah, and you know, a lot of that came from the fact that they were getting turret plates. They felt, you know, a lot of pressure was relieved from their side of the map, given that they were trying to get, you know, the Jace back into the game for the side of Direwolves. And for the likes of Arthur and Tally, I mean, it was just farming minion waves, picking up kills where you could. I mean, there was a few moments where Arthur was just taking down solo kills. So, you know, a lot quieter than yesterday, but he didn't need to be the starter show today, right? It was just a case of stack these Drakes back to back to back, guarantee Heralds, and just prevent Direwolves ever using their poke to try and zone us away from these objectives. You know, Direwolves never got an invitation into it. They were just zoned away every single time by Chompers or Nars or whatever it might be.
Well, I've got an invitation for someone, and that someone, of course, is Dragku. So I'm going to be jumping on into the post-match with him. Dragku, big fella, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. You know, we're just playing some Tahm Kench and eating Raze up, so, you know, it's just easy.
Yeah, just eating Raze enough, keeping him alive with a couple of good knock-ups there as well, doing bloody everything. So tell me, what's the secret? Because you and Raze, for the last week or two, have just been popping off in the bot lane and really showing a huge amount of consistency for Chiefs.
I think, you know, Raze is just like, that guy's really good, but I think I was the weak link of the bot lane. So, yeah, I don't know, I guess I just like woke up. I just woke the fuck up. Oh, well, I woke up and yeah, it's like week 6.
Wake the hell up, yeah.
My game. Yeah, I gotta step up my game and yeah, I gotta carry Raze, so.
Yeah, you did that. You carried him in your mouth all damn game. So, anything you want to say? Anyone you want to thank as well? Of course, I noticed you jumped ship. You managed to dodge the floods and come back to Sydney, although I don't think we're too safe down here either. So, you know.
Oh yeah, shout out Chiefs management for sending me on a boat to Sydney. Shout out my mom that's watching the game right now. Shout out my trainer Matt. You know, 4 kilos to go until I'm super shredded for MSI. Yeah, that's about it.
Yes.
Shout out to House Buff. You know, I have my little shark over there and my corgi.
Oh yeah,
my corgi. Actually, I'm not wearing, so you know, yeah, just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Now, look, you're looking bloody smooth, but it is World Compliment Day today, apparently. So I need you to pick someone, not me, because Tally threw a compliment at me. I was unwarranted. I wasn't
gonna
fishing
compliment
for
you.
it. Pick anyone and throw a compliment out, not me. Your mum.
Kuden, you have
Thanks for watching the game.
Kuden, you have nice eyes. Is that a good compliment?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. You can tell I
think,
didn't give much compliments.
He could be pretty, you know, self-conscious about his eyes. Maybe we could ask that in the next coach interview. He seems to be pretty focused on focusing. I don't know, if you go watch the VOD back, you'll have a laugh, probably. Or just, you know, take some notes on his theory to life. Either way, you know, go bask in the glory. Go get those gains tonight, and I'll talk to you next time, Jack.
Thanks, Matt. Mac. Retrospection.
Got me name wrong. That's all right. Look, it's happened before. The last guy that did it though, he's not around anymore. So Dragu, watch yourself. Nah, but look, that was a great game. Big game coming out from the bot lane. Good to hear from Dragu there as well. But look, we do, of course, have to start to move into the pointy end of things. So, Dare MVP is what is on the cards. And talk to me. Who do we think it is, Skim?
Oh, it'd have to be one of the bot laners, no doubt about it. They both had so many moments to harp on about. And this is when, you know, friends maybe not are friends anymore, because you start to argue, was it the support that did more or the AD carry that did more? It had to be one of those two.
Well, that's it. Look, the Dare Iced Coffee most valuable player was, of course, Raze. I think there's no real surprises there. The bot lane absolutely popped off,
Bang,
and Raze
bang.
couldn't have done his job any better. Had a big gun in the server and two little pointy, sticky guns on the picture there. Now, Kitty, there's numbers here. Tell me about it.
Man had 29% damage share on that Jinx, hitting the 3 item spike really early in the game, you know, as expected. And we see a 27% gold share where he picked up most of the plates in the game. Absolute amazing performance coming out of Raze. I don't know, I can't compliment him anymore because it is, what was it? International Compliment Day.
Yes.
Raze is probably just the best ADC in the league right now.
World Compliment Day. He almost had that Flame Horizon as well. 256 CS overall. Huge vision score considering he's an ADC of 29. And man, just did so much damn work. Total damage dealt to champions as well was 15, almost 16k. So for how short the game was, that is a pretty big number. Now, talk to me, Skimmy. If I wanted to follow LCO, where would I go?
You'd log into Twitter, you'd get yourself sorted. If you want to get some bonus points, you'd perhaps hop onto Instagram. Perhaps if you want to go really far down the rabbit hole, because you're already in Twitch chat, right? So you're already following us there.
Yep.
Get on YouTube. Maybe you can't watch all the games. You've got the highlights on there to get snipped up, chopped up, and made life and easy and bite-sized for you. So look, we're here. We're everywhere. We're making your life really good.
Yeah, all over the damn place. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Follow us on all of them. Hashtag LCO, of course, to join that conversation on Twitter. But look, we got a second game to get to, and I'm not going to keep you around any longer. I don't know what it is because I've lost it in my book. I've just written too many things. Oh, there it is. It's Gravitas and Peace. Now, oh no, it's not. That's yesterday's notes. It's Order and Mammoth coming up just after the break.
And I think the biggest benefit has to be Raze, the fact that he gets that kill. He's now got a bounty, and he's now got a Nautilus hungry to take him down. He might just actually kill him! Yes! Kraken Slayer OP! Flashing away, he's excited,
Oh, no.
and he is outplaying.
Even gets the CC off on Kyose.
Dives, it's huge. Can they? Oh no!
Oh no, he didn't press ult!